What's up everyone, OpSoldier here today. I think we're going to talk about the Multiversus beta and kind of my final opinions on it or the Multiversus Alpha, and my final opinions on how the alpha went. So I'm going to lead with the cons and then I will go to the pros because there's actually quite a few pros here. So the cons were pretty much I noticed progressively as the alpha continued that there was more lag throughout our games. At first it was like maybe every 10 games I might get 1 or 2 laggy matches, but near the end I want to say like almost every other game was lag. Now I don't know if this is because there were more people on the game near the end of the alpha. Either way, I would suggest to I think it's player first games to maybe look at their netcode and see what's kind of going on there, because it became much more consistent in the last like few days, because I pretty much played until the alpha ended and I really noticed a difference between day 1 and the final day. The other thing was, I noticed like for some reason, I don't know if it's just my controller or just like how PC is, you know, with Steam, but the menus were kind of glitched a few times. Like sometimes I would try to deselect a perk and try to reselect a different perk, or select a different perk, and for some reason like I couldn't switch perks. Like the game would just not allow me to switch perks. And you know, I try unplugging my controller. The only thing that seemed to fix the problem was using my mouse. When I used my mouse, I could click on everything and pretty much do whatever I wanted, but anytime I was using controller, like it just seemed like there was some sort of issue with that, so hopefully they'll be able to fix that too. The other thing is the matchmaking. So I don't know if they have like a skill-based matchmaking or something like that, but I did notice as I continued to play the game, I was getting more losses. It was becoming less even between wins and losses. I don't know if like the game was trying to pit me up with more difficult players or if my teammate was just bad. That's another thing that I noticed is you kind of want to play this game, because this game is focused on duos, definitely with a teammate, because if you play with a random, like half the time the random doesn't even know what to do. Like you'll be double teamed and like the random will just kind of sit there and do nothing. So I recommend, if you're going to play this game competitively, that you find a teammate, whether it be on a Discord or a friend that you know, and you just kind of grind the game out, because playing with randoms was not fun, especially when it came to like all the losses I was getting because of matchmaking. So that's more of a con, just based off the fact that like maybe I should just play this game with a friend. Some games are like that, like Siege is definitely a game you want to play with a friend. You do not want to play with randoms. So it's a con, but it's not really, like there's a way around it kind of thing. So I wouldn't blame the developers that much for this particular issue. You know, people are still trying to get used to the game, trying to understand how the game plays, and you know, that's going to change over time. The other one is the menu timings. So I actually time the amount that it takes for you to get into a rematch, and compared to like Mortal Kombat 11, where it's like 15 seconds just to rematch, and then I think 30 seconds in the character select screen, it's a full 2 minutes for you just to rematch, even if you select the same character and the same perks. MK11, even if you time yourself out around to rematch, it's gonna be like, I think 15 seconds and then 30 seconds in the character select screen. So at most it'll be a minute. But in Multiversus, you better wait 2 minutes, dog. That shit is annoying. This was kind of like just a small pet peeve, but OBS seemed to be picking up my computer screen when I launched the game. I don't know why that is. There must be some sort of issue with the programming, but it would pick up my entire screen. So like if I was streaming and I tried launching the game, you would see my entire screen when I'm launching the game. Once the game was launched, it would only show the game. But before, like when I was launching it before the game started, it would show my entire screen and then launch the game. I don't know what that is. The only thing I can think of is that's some sort of programming issue. So I don't know how they would fix it, but it's just something I figured I would share. I'm just sharing every experience that I had that I viewed kind of as not beneficial to the game's release. So that way they can fix it in the beta or fix it post-beta. So this is another kind of more of a pet peeve. I feel like we should have a practice mode online. Most games nowadays, they have some sort of practice mode online, so you can practice with friends and try to figure out combos and stuff like that, or scenarios. If you can't get a practice mode in, at least have some sort of record feature. I feel like a record feature is just a little bit to ask, because in fighting games, like you have to be able to record specific scenarios that you're going to get in. If you can't record them, that means you literally have to adapt in the game, or you have to like ask a friend to replicate the scenario. I've had to do that in MK11 with the breakaway system, because they didn't really implement the breakaway system very well. And I feel like in this game, like if you don't have a record feature, or even just like being able to practice online, it's going to make it way more difficult for you to be able to replicate those situations and prepare yourself for them, pretty much. So if they could add some sort of record feature, you know, that you could easily do that in a patch, or add some sort of where you can practice online with a friend, I think that would be super beneficial. Like some sort of record dummy feature kind of thing. And finally, I would say the last big one is Taz. So I'm kind of mixed about this, because again, like I don't like nerfing characters immediately, but I did feel like Taz's, I think it's his stand A, no, his forward A, was really broken, like or it was forward A or forward B, I always forget. But basically, like, that move did so much damage, and it launched you so far when your health was high. Like, when you were at 140, 100, it launched you so high. It was such an easy knockout potential move. Taz seemed to be one of the easier characters for me to play out of all the characters. I played every character in Multiversus, tested every single one out. Taz seemed the most strongest because of that move. I don't know, like, I played a guy who literally just spammed that move 24/7. And he won. So I think we need to figure something out about that move. Now, I don't know if that move's broken per se. There is an argument that it couldn't be. I mean, when I was using projectiles, I was able to kind of zone him out a little bit, but I even heard like he has like a perk that allows him to reflect projectiles with that spin. So I don't know even if that's the solution. So hopefully they'll be able to look into that and kind of see maybe Taz is a little bit too powerful, maybe needs a bigger punish window. But that was kind of my only concern of character. I know a lot of people have been saying that Wonder Woman is bad, but like, I actually had a lot of fun playing Wonder Woman. I thought she was pretty good. So it's gonna kind of be a little bit interesting with people voicing their opinion on Twitter. Like, are the developers gonna listen, kind of like MK11? Like, are they not gonna listen, kind of like MK11, or are they gonna listen and do buffs? Because some characters might get unnecessary buffs, like Wonder Woman. I actually don't think she needs a buff. I think she's okay. But, you know, again, like, I'm not a pro at platformers or anything like that, so I could be biased. Maybe I don't have enough information. But those are all the cons. I guess the last con I can kind of mention is there was kind of a garnet glitch. Like, when you loaded the game and you were selecting your characters, it would show only garnets. It was just kind of like a quality of life thing. It looked really weird. Eventually it would switch over to all the characters, but it was just kind of weird. It just looked weird. So that's more of a cosmetic thing. But let's go ahead and go over the pros, because there's a lot of pros. So one of the big pros to me is the game design itself is solid. Like, I feel like in this game, I have an answer to everything. Anytime you play a fighting game, whether it be a platform fighter or a traditional fighter, if you feel like you have an answer to everything, including Taz's spin, like I felt like projectiles were a good answer to that, that's a good sign. That means that it's a solid fighting game, in my opinion. I think anytime you have you have an answer to everything and you have a solution to everything and you don't have to cry to the developers about a problem, I think that's a good thing. I like the fact that the aerials can be canceled into really quickly. That's awesome. That basically means that the game will be focused on movement. And if you guys aren't already doing this, bind your L1 to jump, so then that way you can hit a face button while jumping. I made that mention in my TikTok somewhere, so yeah, definitely do that. Bind L1 or trigger button to jump, so then that way you can cancel into normals and down buttons really quick, or fastball really quick. Every character makes sense every character has some sort of design that they're supposed to be doing. They have some sort of really strong button that you should use when you're at advantage. So for example, a lot of characters have really strong down airs. Dog, I think Jake the Dog has a really strong side A. Harley has a really strong air A. So like just like having a strong button that you can kind of throw out when you need advantage or you're at advantage is really good. Like that's a good design for a game. That basically means that your character has something that they will be doing, right? The other thing is there's a clear design for every character. So like Harley clearly is an assassin character. Like she's supposed to sneak up and attack people from behind. She has really good offense, stuff like that. Bruisers, like I think it's Batman and Jake the Dog, have really strong buttons. They force you into situations where they're going to do a lot of damage, and they can do knockouts really quick. And then obviously like supports like not Jake the Dog, like Rain Dog and Velma obviously have really strong zoning, and you want them to get their setup, or you want them to zone and do a lot of damage, while the bruisers and the assassins knock you off the platform or pinball you. So they all have good designs, and that's good. I think that's going to make the game last longer. Anytime a character has a design that makes sense, the game lasts longer because you know what you're supposed to be doing. So that's a good thing. They're very easy to pick up, very easy to understand. Like I said, I was able to play pretty much every character in Multiversus in the alpha. So if the beta is going to have even more characters, like I'll be able to play them too. Like it didn't take that long to kind of understand what they were supposed to be doing, which is important. And the cool thing is even the support, like they still have answers up close. Like it's not like you have to just sit there and zone all day. They're more of a kind of hybrid situation where maybe they only have one way to knock you out, but at least they have that one way, right? So that's another good thing. This game is not a Smash clone. I know a lot of people are saying that. Smash clone, I don't like it, get it out. You know the FGC, that's generally how they are. They don't like anything that's new. This game is not a Smash clone. There's so many different things that make this game different. The first one is not every character has a side smash, or certain smashes they don't have. On top of that, this is more 2D focused, unlike most competitive Smash is 1v1. And then also there's no items. There's no items at all, and there's no shield. So Smash has a shield. There's no shield. You have to dodge in this game. Projectiles are pretty much guaranteed unless you dodge, like you focus on your movement. And there's no short hops. Like there's so many different things in this game that makes this game not Smash. So that's definitely, don't listen to people who tell you that this game is not like Smash at all. The only similarity it has to Smash is that it's a platform fighter. And I do not think that Smash has the right to be the monopoly of platform fighters. If there's a platform fighter like WB that comes out with a better platform fighter, then they should be the better platform fighter. Like it's no different than 2D fighting games, like traditional fighting games. Like if there's a better 2D traditional fighting game, then it should win. Like we shouldn't be focused on, oh, this game has to always be the #1 game. No, like if there's a better game, or there's a developer that's proven they can make a better version of not the same game, but of a genre, then they should win. That's how it should be. Like we shouldn't be just getting mad at a game because it has a similar premise. This game has so many different things that make it stand out compared to Smash. And honestly, in my opinion, I think make it better than Smash, especially the 2v2 mode. Like that's something we don't see very often in fighting games. Fighting games have been known for 1v1s, which is why not many people play it, because it's a huge ego thing. Like if you lose, it's on you. But in this game, like we're gonna be doing 2v2, so like you're gonna have to rely on your teammate to like really play solid. So that's gonna be way different compared to most fighting games out there. So I kind of went over time, so I'm just going to go ahead and say one more thing. The game itself is really well polished. It has really good voice actors. Everyone interacts with each other. So like if Shaggy gets wrung out by Wonder Woman, then Wonder Woman will comment on what Shaggy Shaggy will comment on what Wonder Woman did. Like, that's so cool, like having like the actual interactions between every individual character and having them voice acted, like fully voice acted, is completely crazy. Like, this is the future of fighting games. Like, characters are interacting with each other. We have rollback netcode, so the lag, yeah, there's lag, I will admit that, but it's not nearly as bad as some of the delay-based netcode we've had in the last few generations. The characters are easy to understand. The game is very easy to get into. That is 100% an important thing for some of your fighting games. You know, not every fighting game has to be extremely hard to understand and learn. And there's obviously complex and depth to it. There's combos, there's, you know, certain kill moves that allow you to pinball people out or ring them out. Down airs are super strong, just like Super Smash Brothers. But yeah, like, it has its own uniqueness that makes it stand out compared to Super Smash Brothers, and I'm really looking forward to the beta. I did want to announce I will be hosting a tournament during the beta in July. I don't know when it's going to come out in July, so like there's still some, you know, up in the air of deciding like when the actual tournament will happen. But you know, since it's cross-platform, it's going to be hosted to all the TikTok buds and all the Discord buds. And I haven't decided on a prize pool yet, but we'll see. So anyway, that's all I want to talk about today. I figured I would finally share my opinions on the last bit of Multiversus. The game is good. Definitely try it out. The open beta, well, basically anyone will be able to download it, so definitely try it out. It'll be a really fun game for you to play. And even if you don't like it, at least it's a party game. It's another game like Super Smash Brothers where it's very easy to understand, and you can basically just say, hey bro, talk to one of your friends that never plays fighting games ever, hey, you want to play Multiversus, and they'll know how to play the game. Like, the game's not that hard. It's a 2-button game. It's really, really easy to understand. So anyway, that's all I want to talk about today. You guys have fun playing Multiversus and fighting games.